Coming up, the two candidates for Kentucky's highest office had a war of words at a debate this week. More troops are heading to one Middle Eastern country. We will tell you why. And a memorial fund set up for a former Kentucky quarterback's family continues to grow. We will have the latest number.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:32 on Thursday, July the 18th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. It's raining in a couple counties this morning, creating some headaches. We've actually gotten some reports of some flash flooding in those areas. There's actually a warning out for a couple more for about maybe an hour or so left. Let's bring Brandon in this morning, give us a breakdown of, Brandon, what counties are seeing rain this morning, and when should we expect that mercury to just basically shatter the roof of the mercury of the thermometers?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty warm today, but not as warm today as it's going to be the next couple of days. But this morning, we're still tracking that one flash flood warning for parts of Bell, Knox, and still into Whitley County, but most of the rain has moved out there. I have not heard any reports of high water in Whitley County, but it is possible. The reports we're getting of high water is in Knox County, but the bulk of the rain now into parts of Bell County and even parts of Harlan County this morning. We zoom out to the big picture, a few more spotty showers and storms up near I-64, Mountain Parkway, and over into Lee and Owsley counties, also back toward Floyd County there, just to the south of Prestonsburg. So we're going to continue to watch a few of those scattered chances stick around for most of the morning. 70 or better across the area on temperatures as we start out the day. Almanac, 86 our forecast high. We average 85, or record 94 set back on this day in 1986. So I've checked the records for the next couple of days because we could be close. Weather app forecast, you do see the chances for scattered showers and storms through about lunchtime, a little after, and then we'll start to clear those skies out and temperatures climb into the mid to upper 80s. The rest of the forecast is on the way in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, Republican Governor Matt Bevin and Democratic challenger Andy Beshear clashed yesterday during a forum. Speaking at Kentucky Farm Bureau headquarters in Louisville, Beshear said that a push to bring charter schools to Kentucky will hurt public education. Beshear says charter schools will divert resources away from public schools. Governor Bevin fired back that it's nonsense to claim that competition in education will be bad for Kentucky communities. The two also exchanged personal attacks.
The reality is you blow a lot of smoke, you make a lot of promises, you file a lot of lawsuits, you fight this administration and you fight this state for political reasons.
What I've heard very often from the governor is you should choose the person that you would want to leave in charge of your company. Would it be a person that would attack, bully, and demean your employees?
The two candidates in the November election also stressed their support for rural communities. Meanwhile, Senator Rand Paul put the brakes on a funding bill for 9/11 first responders, saying debt concerns led to his decision. CNN's John Lawrence reports.
A hurdle placed in front of the September 11th Victims' Compensation Fund.
It is so frustrating. The truth of the matter is that there are so many first responders who are sick.
On Wednesday, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand asked for unanimous consent on the bill, a move that would speed the passage process. And that's when Senator Rand Paul stepped forward and objected.
Mr. President,
Senator from Kentucky.
we're adding debt at about $1 trillion a year, and therefore any new spending that we are approaching, any new program that's going to have the longevity of 70, 80 years should be offset by cutting spending that's less valuable.
Paul later tweeted that he was not blocking the 9/11 bill, but rather asking for a vote on an amendment to offset the cost.
Pardon me if I'm not impressed in any way by Rand Paul's fiscal responsibility virtue signaling.
Gillibrand is calling on Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to hold a floor vote on the bill so the bill can be addressed before Congress's recess next month.
We need to show with our reactions, not just our words, that we have never forgotten what these heroes did for our nation. Otherwise, never forget is meaningless.
McConnell previously vowed that the current law, which expires in 2020, would be funded fully. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now, the measure passed the House last week in a bipartisan 402-12 vote. Well, a Democratic-born resolution to impeach President Trump went nowhere in the House Wednesday. The House voted overwhelmingly to kill Democratic Representative Al Green's solo bid to impeach President Trump. Green defended his efforts, saying, quote, "In my opinion, it didn't fail. We have to make a statement to the American people that there are some among us who believe that this president is unfit and should be impeached." House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave her reasoning why Democrats weren't so eager to follow Green's lead.
We have 6 committees that are working on following the facts in terms of any abuse of power, obstruction of justice, and the rest that the president may have engaged in.
Green's impeachment attempt spawned from his belief that the president needs to be punished for his controversial tweets. Well, President Trump's war of words with the squad has turned into a campaign rallying cry. The president lambasted the Congresswomen during a Wednesday night appearance in Greenville, North Carolina. CBS's Laura Podesta has more from New York.
At a campaign rally in North Carolina last night, President Trump escalated his attacks on 4 Democratic Congresswomen.
Tonight I have a suggestion for the hate-filled extremists who are constantly trying to tear our country down. They never have anything good to say. That's why I say, hey, if they don't like it, let them leave. Let them leave.
Supporters cheered as the president went after each of the first-term lawmakers, collectively known as the Squad. The most pointed criticisms were aimed at Minnesota's Ilhan Omar.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Congresswoman Omar responded by tweeting a Maya Angelou poem that read in part, "You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise."
Unfit to be president and warrants impeachment.
A day after passing a resolution condemning racist statements by the president, the House blocked a measure calling for his impeachment.
The president knows the argument that could be made against him, and therefore he wants to distract from him. You have to give him credit. He's a great distractor.
The final vote was 332 to 95 in favor of tabling the impeachment articles. The 95 nays all came from Democrats. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Now, in the wake of the Democrats' split over impeaching the president, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is reportedly trying to arrange a sit-down with Congresswomen and Squad member Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, also known as AOC, on Wednesday. AOC told CBS News she, quote, absolutely wants to meet with the speaker. It is unclear when that might happen. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is preparing to send hundreds of U.S. troops to Saudi Arabia. 2 defense officials say 500 troops are expected to go to the Prince Sultan Air Base, located in a desert area east of the Saudi capital of Riyadh. A small number of troops and support personnel are already at the base, handling initial preparations for a Patriot missile defense battery and airfield improvements. In June, the Trump administration said it would be sending 1,000 additional troops to the Middle East to address concerns about Iran. These troops are part of that deployment. The Harlan community continues to support the Black Jewel coal miners as they continue to wait for their paychecks. Panda Garden in Harlan was among several businesses helping the miners get back on their feet Wednesday. Owner Joyce Cheng said she hoped that she would sell 500 $10 mini buffet boxes and donate the proceeds to the Black Jewel miners.
Most of my family has been in the coal mines. My dad did. My aunt even went in for about 3 years. So it's pretty important to me, and I'm saying it's pretty important to a lot of people here.
Cheng's goal was to raise another $5,000. We do not know yet if she met her goal. On Tuesday, we told you that the Jared Lorenzen Memorial Fund was at more than $80,000. The fund is set up by the Kentucky Sports Radio guys and host Matt Jones. Jones and Lorenzen were friends until Lorenzen's death last week. The money will go to the Lorenzen family to help in any way it can, something that Jones says is the most important thing.
I knew Kentucky fans would step up and help support him, but I was shocked at the amount. I mean, it's almost $90,000 now. It's really been amazing. Now, my goal was to raise 50 for the family, and I think we'll probably get closer to 100. So it's been awesome, and it shows how generous this fan base is and how much Jared really meant to everybody.
Now, you can still contribute to the Jared Lorenzen Memorial Fund. You can find out how to do so on our website at WYMT.com. Well, it's 6:41 on this Thursday morning. Let's send it on over to Brandon to give you a breakdown of what to expect on a day that's going to be heating up. Brandon?
It is, but my friend, tomorrow and Saturday, that's going to be the days we really need to watch. I'm going to take you on a brief tour here of live pinpoint Doppler radar starting down south, where we're seeing those heaviest bands of rain now go from Bell County into Harlan County and Lee County, Virginia. We scoot up to the north just a little bit there, some rain along the Mountain Parkway, up toward I-64, and then down into parts of Lee and Owsley counties, and then back over into southern Floyd County, scattered. But we are starting to see some clearing skies here on Buffalo Mountain, some fog, some clouds. Actually a beautiful scene up there this morning. Temperatures in the 70s area wide, between 70 and about 73 this morning. Out the door forecast, we are going to see this rain and these clouds gradually clear, but it's going to take a little while for it to do it. We'll see the sunshine and warmer temperatures come into play later today. Will?
All righty. Well, we will have stories that are trending on WYMT.com next. Thank you for joining us right here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, how the Leslie County community is continuing to support a family who recently lost everything in a fire.